Hey guys, it's Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at the third game in the bookshelf series from Facade Games called Deadwood, 1876. Deadwood 1876 is a 2 to 9 player game where each player is trying to jockey for locations around this old west town, trying to steal safes from other players to get the most gold. You're either trying to be alone in a different location with the most gold, or you're trying to share a location with somebody else and have the most gold, and then have a final showdown and shoot to, have a fight to the death. Or, take 12 steps, 10 paces, turn around and shoot each other. That's the theme of the game. It's really simple. It's easy to play, easy to teach. That's enough talking about it. Let's go down to the table, see how it plays. All right, so here is a game of Deadwood 1876, all set up for 4 players. Let me go over setup really quickly. First thing you're going to do is you're going to put out these 3 location tiles, which are really nice wooden looking tiles. There's a saloon, Grand Central Hotel, and there's also the gym theater. You're going to shuffle the Deadwood cards. You're going to deal each player 4. Each player is going to take a character. On one side is colored, other side is black and white, because you're going to be maybe dying later. Each player is going to have a color star. So in this case we have pink, green, yellow, and black. They're all going to go into this bag, and I'll finish that here in a second. You're going to set the 5 different kinds of dice here. They're going to go from weakest to strongest, so yellow, orange, red, brown, and black. That's weak to strong in that order. You're going to give each player 2 safes. You're going to put 3 safes here to kind of keep track of the rounds. Then there's the probability die, and then there's an icon card. All right, so there's a few more pieces for setup. First thing we're going to do is, in a 4-player game, we're going to put some stars out in these certain locations. Stars are the representation of each of the players in the game. So in a 4-player game, we're going to do 2 stars on the theater, 2 stars in the saloon. And I dropped a star, good job. All right, so we'll put 2 stars in the theater, 2 stars in the saloon. We'll go back and forth, back and forth. In a 4-player game, nothing goes to the Grand Central. That'll be dispersed in a higher player count. So black starts in theater, green in saloon, pink in theater, and this should be yellow. All right, and that's all the bag is for. So the bag is out. All right, so next thing you're going to do, the final thing we're going to do for setup is each player is going to look at their safe cards, and they are going to keep one and pass one to the player on their left, and then we'll get started with the game. So I'm not going to actually do that just to save some time. I'm not going to look at them, I'll just pass one. So I'm just going to take the one on the left and pass it to the player on the left. All right, there we go. So now each player has 2 safes, and now we're ready to play. So on your turn, you can do one of a couple different things. You can try to rob a safe. You do that by taking a card in your hand, which let me show you what the cards look like really fast. Cards are going to have an action at the bottom. In this case, it's a duster. It's going to let you do that action that's at the bottom. And they're going to have a gun at the top, which is going to represent which of these 5 types of dice you're allowed to roll. So I could take a card, I could put it down in front of a safe, say I want to try to rob that one, then this player would get to defend against that safe. I could duel a player, so say I want to come over here, I could duel a player to try to make them swap locations with me. That's going to come into play at the end of the game. I may not get to that, but I'll try to explain what it is. I can play a card for what's at the bottom of, the action of the card. And I can do one more thing. So let me make sure that I'm telling you correctly. I can duel, use a holster, which that would mean I can play that on someone else's turn to help them, to help another person in a fight, or maybe help myself. And that's it. Every time you play a card, you're going to draw back up to 4. So we'll go ahead and say green is first. So they are going to They want to try to, they're going to go ahead and do this. So they're going to use their messenger that lets them roll the black die, which is the best. They're going to go after this safe. So this player is going to get to play a card as well. And they will get to go up against. Their best card is this Winchester. So they're going to try to fight this guy with the Winchester. So green player is going to roll black. The yellow player is going to roll the brown. And we'll roll them at the same time. And whatever the results are is the win. So black has 3 bullets, looks like that. Brown has 1 bullet. So this player wins. They get to take the safe that they won. Both the cards get discarded. Everybody draws back up to 4. And then they won this safe. You're trying to get gold in safes. So this one's rats. That's not really a great one. And you can only have a maximum of 3 safes. This player also has a messenger to be used in the final round. And this player also has gold dust worth 1 gold. Alright, so that was their turn. Let me explain what the safes do. So the reason you're trying to get safes is you're trying to be either at the location with someone else that have the most gold between the two of you. Try to be at your own location and have more gold than everybody else because you automatically win. If you're sharing the location that has the most gold, so say yellow and green had the most gold, they would go into a final showdown where they're going to be playing cards from their hand to try to kill the other player. They're going to do that until one person takes 2 hits. And that's where these extra cards are going to come in handy. So if you're getting a bunch of gold cards, you're going to want to try to move around to the other location to be by yourself so you can automatically win. At the end of every round, there's going to be a heist. And we're going to all fight for whatever the top card is here. So that's that. All right, we'll go to, I'm probably just going to play around in a heist. And then that'll be it. So now it's yellow player's turn. They want to see what they want to do. They're actually going to try to get their card back. So they're going to go ahead and go after this one. So they're going after this one with the brown die, the Winchester. Then this player gets to defend themselves. They'll go ahead and just make it a completely fair fight, and they'll play a Winchester as well. So they're both going to roll brown, and then we'll see who wins. And it's a tie, so we keep going until there's not a tie. And this player gets a safe. So they're going to steal the safe, and they stole gold dust. So they have it. They shuffle them around so you don't know which ones they win. But I'm not going to do that. So now they're back down to 2 and 2. They each draw a card back. And then it'll be the black player's turn. So what are they going to do? Let's look at their cards. They're actually going to play this card for the Stetson hat. It's going to let them look at 2 safes, any 2 safe cards. So they're going to discard that, draw back up to 4. And they actually want to look at this player's safe cards. See what they have. So they have gold dust and a tin badge. So what badges do, at the end of the 3rd round, you're going to play another round as long as you have a badge. So you're going to basically get like another bonus turn to try to make some attacks on a safe. If you don't have a badge, you don't get that extra turn. So badges are good to keep in your safes just so you can get a turn. And they're going to go in order based on what kind of badge you have. You can see this card. Based on what kind of badge you have is the turn order that it's going to fire. It goes from tin up to gold. So 10 would go first, and then so on and so forth. All right, so that was their turn. They drew back up. Now it's this player's turn. They're kind of ticked off at that player, so they are going to drop their messenger over here on that safe. So messenger is going to let them roll a black die. And then this player is going to, they have a messenger as well, so they're going to make it a fair fight. So they're both rolling black. And that player defends. Nothing happens to this player. They just lose their card and basically wasted their turn. So this player gets to keep their safe. They each draw back up to 4. Alright, and now that's the end of the round. So the game is pretty quick. It's going to be played over 4 rounds, plus a bonus round, plus a final showdown. And whoever has the most gold is the winner. So at the end of the first of a round, you're going to flip the top safe. Everyone is going to play a card at the same time, or pick a card, reveal, and then we're all going to roll to try to win that card. So in this case, it's a pepper box, which is the worst possible card you can play or have at the bonus. So let's see. I'm not going to waste a big card, so they're going to play this. They'll play an orange. They'll play a Derringer, which is let them play an orange die. And then they'll play a pepper box to try to get a pepper box. All right. So this player is rolling yellow. So they have 1. This player is rolling orange. They have blank, so they're out. This player is rolling orange. They have 1, so they're still in. And this player is rolling yellow. They're out. So it's coming down to these two. And this player wins with their little piddly pepper box. So they get rid of these cards. Everybody gets rid of their cards. This player would now have this in their safe. They'd shuffle it around so you don't know where it is. Everybody draws back up to 4. And then you'd keep going. At the end of the next round, you'd reveal this safe. Gold dust. People are going to fight over that a little more. Then at the end of the third round, you'd reveal this, a gold nugget with 2 gold. Then you're going to reveal everybody's safes. Well, not everybody's safes, but you're going to reveal any badges. So let's see if there are any badges out. Ooh, they had 3 gold. Nice. So we'll just go ahead and flip these and we'll show you. So they had an iron badge and a tin badge. So tin badge would go first. So they would take a whole other turn to try to steal a safe. Because remember, the only thing that's going to be revealed is the badge that is taking a turn. So they'd go do what they wanted to do. Then the iron badge would go. Those would be the only 2 bonus turns because there's only 2 badges. Then, in this case, we would look at the locations. So it'd be green and yellow. They have 3 gold here. They have 1, 2 gold here. So these guys would go to the final showdown. They're out. So what they would do now is they would pick cards in their hand and they're just going to keep duking it out until somebody gets shot twice. And whoever is the last person standing is going to get all the gold and they're going to win. There are a couple variants in the book. I didn't look into those. I haven't played those because I think the game's cool the way it is. And the setup is going to be a little different based on number of players. I just did 4 for simplicity's sake. But the more players you have, there's going to be different amounts of people here, different limits of people they can be at each location. And it's just going to get a little more chaotic. So that's how you play Deadwood, 1876. Let's go up to the top, see what they think about it. All right, so that was Deadwood 1876. So let me first say, this is the 3rd game in the series of games that all come in a book from Facade Games. The first one was Salem. I can't remember the dates. Next one was Tortuga. And this is the 3rd one. I'm going to say this is my least favorite one of all of them. My first favorite is Tortuga, then Salem, then this one. And I'll go into some of the reasons why I think that. But first, let me go into some of the things that I really dig. So you saw how it played at the table. And it's a simple game where you're playing a card, taking an action, just trying to get gold, move gold around, move around to sync different locations. So you can either be alone with gold or share with the person you think has the most gold to make it to the final showdown. The way that's done is by playing cards, rolling these amazing custom dice. So each type of gun has its own type of dice. So here's the big die, which has 4 shots. Then here's the little piddly die, which has a bunch of blank sides. So they have really nice custom dice. These little star meeples, which represent the people, are really nice. These location tiles are amazing. The card art, or well, the cards are really nice quality. You know, nice finish. The art is really cool. This company does really awesome art for their games. So that's awesome. The packaging, the box is incredible. Just the way it all fits in there. Even the art inside the flap is awesome. So no complaints there. Rule book, exceptional, easy to read, easy to teach. There. All right. So one of the issues that I have with this game, let me say, it's a great game. I like it. I would play it. It's fun. I had a great time every time I played it. I enjoyed it, but just not as much as some of the others. So let me explain why. So one of the things I don't like about it is it's super short. So I've played only 4-player games. Maybe with more players it would be more interesting, but I've only played 4-player games. And it just seems like when you're just getting started, the game's over. Then you're on the badge round and you're just taking that extra turn. You're just getting into it. You're taking 3 turns or 3 actions basically in the whole game to try to get the best kind of safes that you can get in front of you. That seems a little silly to me. I think it needs to either be longer or you need to be able to have more opportunities to do that. Second thing, it's kind of mean. If you've seen any of my reviews or you listen to the podcast, you know I'm not a fan of mean games. And this game is essentially, I'm going to steal a safe, I'm going to duel you to move you to a different location, then I'm going to try to kill you at the end of the game to be the last person standing. That's not my style. It makes sense with this game because it's from the West, and I get it. I understand. I get it. It doesn't bother me a ton. I'm not going to go cry just because my character is getting shot. Just not something that I super enjoy in games. So that's the second strike. Third strike is, I think there needs to be more variety in the saves. So I played one game that had, I think there were like 2 pieces of gold or something that managed to come out the whole time. The other ones were these extra guns for the final showdown and badges. So you have 4 people fighting over 2 pieces of gold where, you know, one person could have all the gold and then we're just always attacking that one person. So I don't know. I just feel like there may need to be a more variety of safeguards. And that's my third issue. So those are all my issues. The production is amazing. The gameplay is fun. I had a great time when you're playing it because it's one of those games where you just, you know, you're playing with your friends and it's kind of about the interaction around the table as much as it is about the game. I just think Tortuga and Salem make the game a little more prevalent with the camaraderie of your friends. So, good game. I will definitely play it. I'm not going to get rid of it. It's going to stay with the other 2 on the shelf. You can see them right there. It's going to stay with those 2 games. I'll play them if I have big groups. I'll take them to my church. My church likes some of these games because you can play with a bunch of people. They're easy to teach, and for non-gamers, they go over well. So, Deadwood 1876, great game. Facade Games, local company around my area. Definitely check them out. They're doing awesome things with the format and the formula they're using for their games. And I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics. Thanks for watching the review, and keep gaming.